Hey, everybody, it's Lisa Copeland, and you are on our training for eXp Realty, our show for all realtors, Conquering the Shift, live with Lisa Copeland. And today I've got a really, really special guest. For those of you who've ever dreamed of living in foreign lands, maybe having a house in Cabo, maybe a house anywhere other than Miami or Texas, Catalina Restrepo, she's on my team. She's amazing. She is a global expert. And if you're out there, you share this out. If you know anybody that wants to move to Cabo, Catalina, I've got a bunch of friends that have expatted in the last few months. And so they're living the dream down in Cabo, San Lucas, and they're loving it, loving it.
I'm jealous.
I know.
Great, right?
Yes. So anyways, so I want to kind of take you back. So this show, Conquering the Shift, this is for agents. This is for people who want to be agents. This is for people who want to know what the heck's going on in the real estate world. So put your comments in there. Let us know that you're watching. Let us know where you're watching from. And Catalina, take us back to kind of how you got involved with us at eXp, the work that you did with Grant Cardone and what you did for him, and just kind of what you talked about the other night in Houston, because I think that gives people the base to understand you're truly a real estate authority who also happens to have a global brand. You have a team around the world. You happen to be on my team, which I love, but you're absolutely one of the most successful people in our organization. And I think it's because you're more than in just Miami, you're global. So take us back to the beginning.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Well, my beginnings, we spent some time in Houston this last week, and you were able to witness a little bit of my story and what brought me here, right? Yeah. So my background is hospitality management and asset management. So I had the privilege to work with Grant Cardone as one of his asset managers and brand ambassador. So I was exposed to all of his multifamily portfolio in Texas, different other states, in Florida. And that's how I got to where I'm at now, which is partnering up with Elena at eXp and you as well. After working with Grant and being exposed to that side of the business, I realized I was leaving a lot of money on the table because I was not a licensed real estate agent. Right?
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought you were a licensed agent when you worked with Grant.
No, I was coming from hospitality and property management, and I moved into asset management, right? So while I was managing these assets and I was making sure that everything was, all the numbers were healthy, and obviously making good profit for its owners, one of them being Grant Cardone, I realized, wow, all this money that I see moving through these books and within the properties that I'm managing, yet I'm not being paid for none of these transactions, right?
Right.
So then this switch came on and I said, well, now I want to be on that side of the business as well. Instead of being only part of the, once the acquisition was done, the property will come to me. The asset will come to me for me to assess it. Well, now I want to be part of the acquisition and or disposition and be paid for it, and I can still assess it, right?
Right.
That's what I did. And now I ended up more in the real estate side of things more than the asset management for obvious reasons.
Right.
How I ended up.
Money. Let's be real. There's a lot of money in buying and selling real estate.
Correct. And not only that,
ashamed of.
You're exposed to more globalization. You're exposed to a way bigger market, right? And the hours that you spend behind of the desk are less, right? So you fast forward. Elena called me one time. She gave me a call and she told me she was, joining ventures with eXp and she was going to be with you. And I said, hey, you didn't need to say anymore. Like, I'm in.
I mean, which is exactly what happens every time Elena Cardone picks up the phone. People are like, you don't even need to finish your sentence. I'm in.
Yeah,
Who does not want to work with Elena?
I remember like she got me on the phone with you, and by the time I got on the phone with you, I was already on the process of onboarding.
You know what's so funny? I actually remember I was in my kitchen at my old house, and I remember talking to you because she was so excited because she had called me ahead of time and told me about you and just said what an asset you would be. On top of the fact that you've got this, you've got this global understanding of real estate outside the country, and you gave a really important stat the other night. That the Colombians and how much of the real estate in Florida last year was purchased by Colombians. Did you say 40% or was I dreaming that?
Well, Lisa, but let's backtrack a minute and not forget all this vision didn't came to me until I made the transition to EXP.
Oh, okay.
I was doing very well in being an authority within my market before coming into EXP with the prior brokerage I was at.
Okay.
Once I made the transition, more light switches came on, right? And I will make sure that I know like which country EXP was planning on opening, like coming up. And I will make sure that I stayed updated with the list. And I will learn as much as possible about this country's current government, current economy. And then I will go on to my CRM and see how many people in my CRM has background from that country, has family in that country, any ties to any of those countries. And that's how I started opening. When I opened Colombia, I was the first one that opened Colombia. And I started establishing Dominican Republic, Colombia, Panama, and then I started in Portugal. And
did
so
you see Chile just opened last week. I know you did see.
Yeah. But it was
Dubai is coming. Like that's my bucket list. I'm going to go to Dubai, write it off, and just pretend like I've got a team in Dubai.
and
it's so exciting.
You don't even need to pretend for too long,
right?
Because it just is not necessary. So this didn't come to mind until I saw how many doors ESP was opening for me. And all the tools that I had within reach to be able to implement and have processes and systems in place to be able to open up these countries, right? Next to Colombia is experiencing extreme changes with the government, with the economy. So as real estate agents, we can think about our buyers, our sellers, our investors, just from the standpoint that every purchase might be financial or is an investment because it's from abroad. For instance, I have a lot of clients now that they are protecting their capital, yes.
Mm-hmm.
They are investing here, moving their money from abroad here because they want to protect their capital. However, I started really establishing myself and gaining a strength with this demographic when I learned that, and that's why it's so important to become aware and understand your client's goals long term.
Yes.
I get the part that they want to protect their capital. So I focus on the investment, the returns, and so on. But if the client is now telling me they want to put in place a plan where if situation gets worse in their country, let's use in this case Colombia,
right?
Now they want to think about their family being protected and being able to migrate in the most optimum way to the United States. So now being aware of this situation and my clients thinking or what their plan is, now I educate myself and my knowledge gets extremely diverse when it comes to, okay, I am your real estate agent and I'm here to advocate the way you're protecting your capital and how we are structuring your investments. However, because I am knowledgeable in how we need to structure these investments for you and your family to be able to qualify for a visa that later on is going to become a permanent residency.
Right.
My client is going to want to get this done as soon as possible, the fastest and the most secure way, right? So that's why I always emphasize, yes, we must become an expert and we must be the authority within our market, within our expertise. But it's extremely important for us to become diverse within our knowledge so we are not neglecting any client, any potential client, any potential referral, regardless of where they're coming from and what's their current plan or what are their current needs, right? So
Right.
after I became aware of all this, it kept repeating. It kept repeating, more and more people coming on to me for the same. And obviously, I will disclose. The disclosure is extremely important. I am not a lawyer. I am not a financial advisor, but I have a really good, solid team
Right.
that has all this experience, that I can connect you with, and they will give you all the advice that you need. But if I don't have the proper knowledge or the basics, I will not be able to take full advantage and coverage of this client's needs, right? And a lot of times they protecting their capital in the United States because obviously the dollar remains very strong compared to other currencies.
Wow.
However,
Because our dollar is so weak right now that I'm just like,
yeah, but it's weak for us here when other countries with other currencies are implementing strategies to protect their capital or even maximize returns. This is the land, like this is where it is, right?
right.
And
Right.
yes, you were correct. Colombians were the number one international buyers for the last two quarters here in Florida. There were more commercial investors, more commercial buyers than any other country. So if we are ahead of the curve, if we are ahead of what is about to happen or what could happen or what could start developing in the upcoming months,
Right.
all of this is going to be to our advantage. So now I have, for instance, Colombian investors or Colombian clients that already implemented their structure here in the United States, but they want more, or they might not be ready to migrate yet, but they want now to to test the water in the market in Portugal. If I'm not with EXP, it will be harder for me to service this demographic, right? So now I have to become knowledgeable about the golden visa in Portugal. What is it that it offers? How you qualify, and go there, make connections, make sure that I have a good, solid team that can provide services for every client that I'm going to be referring, right?
Which is what I love, Catalina, because we can go to these countries. I think we're in 23 or 24 countries now. And I literally, I got the memo with everyone else that either Dubai is open or it's about to open. And I was like, we can go to Dubai and we can set up a business in Dubai, in Cabo. My husband and I are going to be in Cabo in November. And I told him, I'm like, I'm going to be finding some agents down there, right? Because I've got some people down there that would send us a lot of business. And so, it's like we can travel the world. I mean, France is open. Oh my God. I mean, everything's open. Everything, Canada, Mexico, all the countries that she named, India. Like, we have a huge team. I have a huge team in India.
Greece,
They're so cute.
Greece opened not too long ago.
Yeah, Greece, exactly.
Market, and people wants to dominate because of its returns too. It doesn't have the positive migration to establish in the country. Is more tourism, yes, but the returns are so healthy that is another really hard market for investors. So
So basically, if someone's watching this in real estate and you're not with our company, you should be. If you've got like this global idea, like just like Catalina said, like she wasn't doing this before she joined us. And but she had connections, right? So we were able to give her the vehicle to be able to maximize her connections to build this global network that you have now. And Catalina, like that's why I had you on to talk about global, because you have worked that global better than anybody on our team. Like you travel, you go to other countries, you work your CRM. How many languages do you speak?
So I speak 5 languages.
Really?
Fluently 4, and that's another of my targets, another of my goals, to become better in at least another 2, because I have clients from there that I will rather communicate directly than having to have somebody else translate for me.
What languages do you speak? What are your 4?
So Spanish, Portuguese, English, Dutch, and some in Italian. I'm not super fluent, but I can understand some Romanian as well.
Wow.
But I'm trying to get better in French, and my forever goal has been Mandarin, but I try for 2.5 years, and it's really difficult.
Do you know that Elena and I are going to Brazil? I'm accompanying her on a speaking trip. I think it's November 8th and 9th. And I'm like, do you speak Portuguese? And she's like, no. I'm like, I don't either. Not sure what we're going to do down there, but okay.
It's very similar to Spanish. It has similar words and pronunciations too.
Right.
But it tends to sound faster.
Yes.
But
yeah.
it's Brazil is very diverse. Like a lot of most people is bilingual.
Yes.
At least wouldn't.
I find that so interesting, right? It seems like all of our friends and our team that are from other countries, they all speak English, but we don't speak their language. So I just find it interesting that in the US, like we don't teach multiple languages. Like I'm doing Duolingo right now. I'm coming date almost 200 because Elena encouraged several of us to kind of take the challenge, me and Michael O'Malley and herself and her daughters. Sabrina is doing Mandarin on Duolingo. So there you go.
Wow.
Scarlett's doing Spanish. Anyways, so we're all trying to learn it, but it's harder when you get old. It's really hard.
What language are you mastering in Duolingo?
I would not say I'm mastering it. I would say I am participating in Spanish.
Okay, good.
Because when you live in Texas, right, you have to know Spanish. So anyways, so I digress. I want to talk about the fact that not only are you a global market specialist, which I love that title because that's what I think of when I think of you, or anytime I've got a global deal or people reach out to us from all over the world. And I'm like, oh, Catalina. But you're also an investor, and you have how many doors do you own?
Now I have 32.
32 doors.
Yes.
And and you came to this country and you just kind of started with nothing. You tell that story. That's another thing.
I'm sorry, Lisa. 75 because of my last acquisition was 35.
So you have 75 doors.
Yes.
So for those of you not in real estate, I mean, Catalina is a millionaire real estate investor who owns small apartment complexes, right? And as a woman who, and I find it so fascinating. Like I said, I love to talk to my friends who came here from somewhere else. And the people that are here are like, I can't do anything. I can't get anything done. And the people that come from other places, they're millionaires, they're rock stars. Like, they're out, they own 75 doors. I don't own 75 doors. I should, but I don't.
But it has a lot to do too, Lisa, with the stuff that we focus on. And what I was sharing at the event last week
in Houston. And what Catalina is talking about is that we had an event in Houston for our Houston 10X team. And it's Catalina's team who sits under my team. And we had over 100 people in the room. And it was so fascinating to hear the stories and really to hear Catalina's story. I've known her since day one, but it's so cool to be able to hear somebody's story. And that's why I said, you've got to be on my show next week, because I think you are such an inspiration to people. And you're so knowledgeable about the real estate industry. You understand real estate investing. You understand the global stage. You understand what we call within our organization expansion, and how to build expansion teams, not only in the US, but how to build them globally. And I just think it's so impressive.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa. But the same thing that I share at the event and with you that night, to me, is really important for us agents, right? Not only become diverse within your knowledge, but remember, whenever you get a good deal coming your way, right? The first thing that we think about is, I can't wait to find the buyer for this deal, right? I can't wait to sell it. But how many times are we thinking, how often are we thinking, I want to keep this deal for myself? And the
Right.
thing that comes to mind is, well, I don't have the money. You don't have to have the money. The deal brings the money. You have to have the deal and secure the deal first. The money comes with it.
That's
The
exactly what Grant taught us. And that's what I've learned from Grant. He's like, Lisa, I don't care if you don't have $1. Just go get the deal.
the money
Go get
is
the deal
hard
and you'll get the money.
to secure, correct?
Yeah.
But we tend to just be focusing or paying attention to the next deal or the next commission or the next check, right? So let's talk from the standpoint of a top producer, right? I'm a top producer, and I keep on producing, but how much of my commissions, how much of that money keeps on making me money without me having to do anything about it?
Passive income.
Having to be present, without me trading the time, without me having to earn that money.
Right.
So how many commission checks am I making sure that are turning into passive income and continuously producing money? Because it's one thing to be a top producer, one checks comes in, it goes right back out. Then this commissions are multiplying, becoming my passive income. Then we talking about real significance, and we making not only an impact in our personal life and in our family, but within our environment, right?
Right.
Because that's the way we multiply the efforts that we put into every transaction that we participate.
That's right. I've got to tell you, I don't know if you've listened to it yet, Catalina, but if you haven't, download it. It's Grant's latest book, 10X Mentor. And it really is just like a culmination of all of his books put into about 13 chapters. He talks about EXP in it. And it's so good. And it's, I went back, I'm kind of listening to it for the second time. And of course, you and I have been to all the real estate summits. I mean, like, we are highly trained by Grant Cardone and by EXP to do real estate acquisitions, to do multifamily investors. Like, I could do it in my sleep. But I'll tell you what, I'm so focused now, because like when you have a market shift, y'all, and this is for our audience out there and for the agents out there, people are like, oh, woe is me. Oh, woe is me. Let me tell you, for those who are smart and know how to find deals, okay, if you can find deals, the money's there. The money's there. And call me. You find a deal, I'll get you the money. I may have the money, I'll get you the money. The money is the easiest part. People get so hung up on the money. They're like, I can't think big. I can't dream big. I can't go big because I don't have money. I'm like, no, you go find big deals. You go find medium-sized deals, and you call people like me or Catalina or Grant or Elena or whoever, and we got the money. I may not have $10 million sitting in my bank account, but I can pick up the phone and get $10 million in 10 minutes on the right deal. And the deals are out, they're there to be had. People are running scared right now. Like, you never want to retract in a recession. You want to expand.
So another part of dominating the shift, Lisa, right? If we were to focus on, for instance, if right here in Florida we have a scarcity, like our inventory is extremely low. So if I have a client,
is it still low right now?
It's still low, yes,
Oh,
compared
okay.
to the demand.
Yeah.
Compared to the demand, we can supply it 100%, right?
Interesting. Okay.
So if I have a client from up north is still dreaming about his oceanfront property that I can supply in this moment, but I am knowledgeable and I am an authority in Dominican Republic, where he's going to be able to have his dream oceanfront second home for a third of the price.
Mm,
He can be there in 3 hours for a fraction of a price too. It's cheaper to fly internationally now than travel within our own country.
right.
Um, then I will be able to present a diverse inventory for this client and secure my client's investment. I will not be able to do that. I will have to tell my client, well, let's wait, something will come up to the market because I'm fixated on this estate only, right? So
Right.
Claudine was not too long ago, she was in Dominican Republic, and she wanted to invest in oceanfront property. And I told her, listen, I'm investor myself in this area. Go here, go there. Next day, I had one of my agents knocking at her door, picking her up, taking her to the projects, to the new development that we have there, because the inventory is vast.
Mm.
So
So
it's
good.
only
I know where I can go when I go to Dominican Republic. I can stay at yours and Claudia Ann's house.
yes. Yeah,
Love
and so
that.
it's like everything else. A lot. I text you today and I say, hey, just in case you have something, I have the money right now. I have somebody waiting on me with the money
You
to
did.
make an acquisition that they must make, right? But I don't have the supply. I don't have the inventory, but the money's there, sitting, waiting. So
Right.
don't get hung on the money. You need to
Right.
find the deal.
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean, guys, money's the easy part. Like, go out and knock on doors. Go out and knock on doors. There are people out there right now, and they're like, oh my God, we're heading into a recession. Oh my God. Like, seriously, like, Catalina, I won't even watch the news. I can't do it. I turn it off. And I'm like, I have found opportunities in the last 90 days of deals that I may do, or I may partner. I have one right now that I called someone today about partnering on. It's a little bigger than where I'm comfortable, but this person, he and I together, we could partner on it. So we'll see if that happens. But now, I mean, just like we're doing right now, we put it to the universe. People call me all the time now. They're like, hey, we know that Grant Cardone. I've got a. I'm like, unless it's a Class A property, Grant Cardone's not looking at it. But tell me about it. Tell me about it, because I might want that deal.
not a class A is not for grant, but then you can
Yeah,
call me and say, hey, Catalina, you were
yeah,
needing 60, 100 units. Now I just got this phone call, right?
exactly. So call Lisa, call Catalina when you hear, because a lot of these guys are selling out some of these smaller projects to go into Class A, right? And so it's like learning it is it's so interesting to me. I feel like you and I both, I mean, we've both mastered the residential game. It's great. I'll do residential real estate as long as I live. But to me now was so intriguing. What I'm really delving into is, digital currencies, our listings on the blockchain, which, I'll have all my stuff up there pretty soon. But doing business differently. And then now really getting my mind around this whole commercial class. I've got a good friend, I can't say any names, but she's a big commercial agent in Dallas, Texas. And I'm hoping that we're going to bring her on and do deals with her. And I mean, like really, I mean, if you're in real estate today and you want to play big, I mean, playing our normal everyday game is selling houses, and we need to do that. I love selling houses. Sold one today. I love it. Not a problem. But playing the big game, playing the you're going to be Grant Cardone and have a jet someday game, you got to play commercial. You have to play commercial. Right. And so the agents out there that are watching this and that will be sharing this out from the Tariq El Moussa organization, which we're all in Tariq's, and of course Elena and all of that. That's where we want to encourage you is start looking at a bigger game, y'all. Start looking at, like, even if it's 10 doors, 12 doors. And Catalina, tell us the tax differential. This is what's crazy, y'all. So in residential real estate, you can go up to 4 doors, which is a fourplex. The minute it hits the 5th door, a 5-door unit, it goes to commercial. Do you guys know that all the tax implications change? They're phenomenal at a 5-door. Like, I mean, now you can start doing K1s and these massive depreciations, and oh my God, like I am on the hunt for about
So
a 10-door.
the tax brackets and benefits do change.
Oh my God, they change drastically.
The more doors, the better.
Yep.
The less taxes you want to pay, the more doors you have to have.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
the transition is just matter of 1 door. Once you go commercial, it's going to be easier to keep on going and remaining on commercial, because that's where you see most of the benefits when it comes to taxes.
Yeah, it is phenomenal. It is a legal way not to pay taxes, or to reduce your tax benefit. It was interesting. Grant said in the book, The 10X Mentor, which, like, this is all stuff I know. Like, I know it all, but then he reminds me of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So the biggest bill that we have in life is our tax bill. Every one of us, that is our biggest encumbrance or debt, or that we have to service on a yearly basis, is the tax man. It's our property taxes. It's our sales tax. It's our income tax. For those of you who are unlucky enough not to live in Texas, it's your state income tax. All of the above. So, I mean, I'm going to say I pay my fair share. I'm going to say I pay my unfair share, and I'm going to figure out a way through real estate to be able to reduce that. And Catalina, you already have, because you've already got 75 doors. So, I mean, you're already playing that big game. I'm ready to play that big game now. So definitely on the hunt for it. I feel like we have the greatest mentor on planet Earth when it comes to that game, and that's Grant Cardone. What he has taught us and invested in us, and how he continually mentors us to success. It's unbelievable. I'm so grateful for that. So as we kind of wrap up today, Catalina, what would you tell the agents out there? They're in our organization, they're with EXP, they might be with Remax, they might be with Coldwell Banker. That's why I do this show live, because I think that there's people that need to hear what we say. And then number 2, I want people to see at the level that we're playing. Like, you don't need to play small in this real estate game. You want to play big, you join us. But anyway, with that being said, what advice would you give?
Start your mental expansion. In order for you to expand globally, in order for you to expand your territory, the first expansion that you need to make sure it happens and it takes place is mentally. You need to expand your mind to not only market shifts, market domination, but you need to start thinking global. I just got back from Arizona after I went to the event.
That's right. From Houston, you went to Arizona.
Correct. So I left Florida. I went to Houston. I had to work 2 properties. Then I went to the event that I was speaking at. Then 3 days later, I have to go to Arizona. We had 3 closings there on raw properties. That is not much that people knows about, and it's not many people that goes into the market as well. But it's another market with crazy returns. And it's another market that you can build on and you can bank on when it comes to your CRM, because nobody knows what they don't know, right? They don't know what they don't know. You are the one that can and should become the authority, expanding these people's possibilities and opportunities. From Houston, I went to Arizona. I was in Phoenix, and we turned 5 total, but I was directly involved in 3 residential properties that will normally be producing as a regular single family house. We convert these single family houses into residential assisted living facilities. They now become a business that produces really good returns. Yes. So my clients are going to be owning the real estate side of it. If they don't want to run the business, they don't have to run the business. They can list the business to an operator and still money out of the appreciation in real estate and the income from the property, the rent, right? If the property has 10 rooms, you have 10 different stream of income within one property. If
Yeah.
the property is purchased with 5, 6 bedrooms, and you have the space to double that for the same price of the same purchase price, you are now building equity in your profits. So as becoming aware of the multiple opportunities there that I can provide my knowledge and my expertise to my clients, but at the same time, I can implement myself, right?
Yeah.
So residential, which I was once investor in single family homes and short-term rentals. Then I move on to multifamily. Multifamily, I became the investor first. My mind expanded first, and then I was able to expand the mind on my clients and provide the proper structure, strategies, and knowledge. And from there, now I am also doing raw, right? So the expansion needs to happen within first. Lose the fear. Don't get comfortable. Oh, I know my market. I'm the expert in my market. What if your market changes? What if your market can supply you with what you need? That means you're not going to be a resource for your clients anymore.
Right.
That means you're going to have to wait until the wave changes for you again. No, you need to get out of that comfort zone and start implementing in different markets. So now, for instance, I have teams in Houston, in Arizona, soon to be in Georgia, and I have multiple countries that have so many good opportunities that I can now take advantage of for my clients and for myself as well. My property in Dominican Republic is booked solid until next year.
Oh, that's amazing. Good for you. I'm so proud of you.
But it's just examples that if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's just a matter of learning the strategies and implementing a good structure. And from there, you become your own investor, but now you're talking to your clients from your experience. You are not selling. You are not just providing them with possibilities. You are now participant of what you are offering. So my recommendation will be expand. Your mindset needs to open up to the market, to the different shifts that happen. Be ready for them, and also be ahead or at least right next to the changes that are happening. For instance, you mentioned blockchain minutes ago. I'm already certified within blockchain. I already have listings on the blockchain. I already have NFTs minted for properties in the blockchain, right? And my team gets the same benefits and the same training because I'm participant. It takes time. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. But nobody can tell me that I'm behind. Oh, you don't know about that? Yes, I do. I do know about that. I actually spoke in EXP shareholder in the conference that we had not too long ago about the blockchain, and is a topic that is very new to most people. And every time that they hear the term blockchain, they tend to think about cryptocurrency.
Right.
You need to understand the difference between, and that one can live without the other, but there is the other one cannot live without blockchain, right? So expand your knowledge, become diverse in everything that you know and everything that you practice, and that's why you start attracting. I have people that reaches out to me that I have never met because they are somebody's family member or somebody's partner or somebody's friend from a country that I service. I never
you are amazing. Am I going to see you in Las Vegas in October at EXP conference?
I'm probably not going to be able to make it to Vegas this year, Lisa. Okay. I will try my best. I would love to be there. But for sure, 2023, I will be there. Okay,
well, good. We have come to the end. Catalina, you are amazing. How do people find you? I'm going to put it in the comments. What's the best way? What's your website?
My website is catalinarestrepo.com. my Instagram, Catalina Restrepo. No, I'm sorry, my Facebook, Catalina Restrepo, or Catalina Restrepo Realtor. My Instagram, Catalina redot.com.
Yeah.
And you can provide my phone number as well, Lisa.
Okay.
I really want to create this proximity to people. I want
Yeah.
people
What
to
is your
feel
phone number?
305 607 2335.
2325?
2335, yes. 305 607 2335.
335. Okay. Phone. So if you all are looking for, if you're watching this, catching the replay, if you're on here now, if you're an agent and you're like, I've got people who want property in Cabo or Colombia or Belize, or it doesn't matter, we can do it. Catalina can do it.
It's beautiful, Lisa. It's beautiful when you get a client. I have one client, a dear client to me, became a dear friend from California all the way to Florida, relocation. Now he wanted to invest in Mexico. We just invested in Mexico. Then we went commercial. We did commercial acquisitions. Now he asked me for Cabo. We are now doing it in Cabo. Every step of the way and every transaction, regardless of the location, he's been holding my hand. And it's beautiful. It's really satisfying for both parties, my client and myself.
Well, my dear, continued success. You're amazing. I love you dearly. And you are just, like I said, you are my go-to. You are my go-to, and you're my team's go-to when we've got an international client, anything globally. Somebody reaches out and wants to, be on my team from another, I'm like, I'm going to put you on Catalina's team. So anyways, thank you, my dear. Thank you for taking your time to pour into our community, our team at EXP, our agent friends and colleagues all around the country, and continued success.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for having me. I'm here to be of service. Anybody can reach out to me. Any questions, any support I can bring to my organization, your team, or anybody else, I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.